Here with another live video. Love to get your feedback on these. So, frankcurzioresearch.com. And today I want to talk about why it's almost guaranteed that we are going to retest our lows. That might not sound too crazy today, but 2 days ago when we saw the market really surge 20%, everybody, you put on the TV, it was bullish. You got to buy so many stocks, everything's going to be fine. Uh, it's pretty crazy when you think about it. So the reason why we retest our lows in almost every single recession, and especially during black swan events. Let's take 2008. People forget that 2008 we didn't go straight down. I mean, there was four different times that we bounced back up, and then stocks came down tremendously. Then finally, the last bounce up was in January. Then we came down in March, hit the lows of 666 in the S&P 500. Why did that happen? It's important to understand. It happened because the market bounced back in 2008 a few times because we thought everything was contained, right? And what we could see was contained. So when we saw that in early 2008, maybe the first 3, 4 months, we thought it was limited to mortgage companies. Then we're like, oh, it's just limited to subprime debt. Then we're like, whoa, why these companies all connected? What's going on? Then we figured out how much they were leveraged. We passed TARP in September. Uh, so after that, we saw a bounce up through November, and then we realized, wow, GE has exposure. Commercial paper, that market's frozen. Money markets accounts are frozen and breaking that dollar peg. We just started learning AIG. So it's important for you to understand this, guys, because you cannot think, and I'm hearing that FOMO, right? So I know we have a lot of retirees that watch this, but for the retirees that don't understand that, that's fear of missing out. So they want to get into stocks and be able to buy them. But you're looking at a market where we're just seeing tons of risk that we really can't see in front of us, and to really think that we're going through an event for the first time in the history, right? In the history of mankind, where we're closing down countries. You can compare this to pandemics, but now we close down entire countries. Europe's closed, India's closed. We're going on full lockdown pretty soon. Now in Florida, they just announced it. Uh, we've never seen anything like this. Do you really think the Fed throwing, fiscal policies, 2 trillion here and trillion? Do you really think that this is a problem that could be solved in 1 month? I mean, do you really believe that? Because I can tell you, there's a reason why real estate is getting destroyed. It got destroyed today, is because we're okay with bailing out Cheesecake Factory and Subway, and they can't pay their rent, H&M and all these companies. Then we're like, don't fire your employees. We have another backup plan for that as well, where we're going to pay your employees for 4 months. Anyone who makes whatever less than 45,000, we'll take those costs. That's fine. That's good. You backed up those two markets, but there's huge consequences, because now what about the REITs? What about Simon Properties? What about Tanger Outlets? I mean, these are companies that I'm not too sure about Simon, but because they're the largest in the industry, but these are companies that probably don't have investment grade ratings, which means that the government's not directly investing in their bonds. If this industry closes, what happens to all these malls? Now you have the president come out and say, I'm meeting with the energy companies. We're going to see if we could this. How many millions of people work in the energy companies where these guys are dead? They're dead in the water. People understand the stats where you have 47% of global production hedged this year at over $50 a barrel. That's cool. Next year it's 3%. If we see these prices continue, I mean, you need them to go up. You have to realize that oil has to almost double from this price of $20, $21 in order for many of these projects to be economical. And most, not most, but probably about a good 30, 40% still won't be. They need $50 oil prices, especially if you're looking at deep water drilling. So now the president's talking about bailing out the energy industry. We're on phase 3 of this package. We're going to go to at least phase 6 when it comes to bailouts. There's a lot of things we don't see. I said how Europe is a complete disaster. There was a disaster beforehand. China was a disaster beforehand, where the Hong Kong protests, people were moving their supply chains out of China. The CLO market, cars loan obligations, that market's a complete mess. Again, high yielding market that's not being bailed out. There's a lot of unknowns out there. And to really be that, I don't want to say in the bad way, naive, that this entire problem, something we've never seen and something that we don't have an answer for yet. I mean, do we really think we're just going to turn on the economy back on at the end of this month, at the end of April? Is that how it's going to work? And what happens if more people get infected? Are you going to open up baseball and maybe play basketball playoffs later? I don't know, whatever you do, whatever sport. But what happens if someone gets infected? Are you going to close them down again? There's no plan in place. I mean, it should be a full lockdown for 3, 4 months or let people go back. But we're right in the middle here. There's just the uncertainties are incredible right here. I know it's hard, not really for our groups, because we were early to this and we got out. And a lot of my clients sitting in cash. But for people who aren't, just be careful. If you're looking to add and you feel the need to trade, then trade. Have fun, knock yourself out. But just be very, very, very careful because, I keep saying this. I'm like a broken record, but just be patient. Go in a pool, hang out with your kids, have fun. Let this pass over. Miss a little bit of move to the upside. Who cares? It's better than investing in these stocks and then you find out, look at the travel industry. You thought maybe you could pick away at a couple companies. If you think you're that much smarter, Buffett bought a huge position, adds his position at Delta, what, 30 something, 35? Was it 22, 23 today? Not picking on him. He's the greatest investor in the world. I'm just saying if the smartest people in the world are getting this wrong, what makes you think that, you're going to get it right? Because it is a dangerous market. We're going to see tons of more risk. This isn't a 1 month problem that's going to be solved with just throwing a couple of $1 trillion at it. We're going to see a lot of more markets open up where we're going to need bailouts. That includes energy, that includes REITs. A lot of these guys are in big trouble. And, we're coming into earnings season. All these companies are not going to talk about 2021 and what they're expecting. They're going to be talking about their credit facilities, how much cash they have to last 3 months, 6 months if this lockdown continues. And those conference calls are going to be very, very ugly, and they're going to start coming out in a couple of weeks. So, guys, just be careful, be patient, have fun. You with your kids. I know, get a little crazy out there, being home with the family every single day, and it's nuts. But just relax. I'm here for you guys and my clients and everything, and I'll let you know when to get back in. We're going to start picking away at a couple of ideas that we could see earnings and have clarity on it. But again, be patient here, and don't be as naive to believe that this is just going to have a quick recovery and second half is going to be great when we really don't even have a solution or a plan in place of how we're going to solve this. The coronavirus isn't something that you could talk to and say, hey, okay, are you going to end like at the end of next month? No, we don't know when it's going to end. We have no idea. We have to adjust every single day, every single week. That's going to result in a lot more stimulus packages because we can't keep the economy shut too much longer. It's getting really ugly out there. I know I'm hearing stories from everyone, so just be careful out there. Still think we're going to retest the lows. We do it in every single recession because there's always something that comes up. And again, to assume that a couple $1 trillion and this thing's going to end in 1 month is kind of crazy. So be careful. Love doing these videos for you guys. Again, feedback, frankcurzioresearch.com, and I'll get back to you guys soon. Take care.